Games new to me. Please like and subscribe.
Hey guys, Rob here for Games New to Me, and I've got one of the strangest stories for you today. It obviously involves video games, more specifically Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Wildlands. It also involves what looks to be a really petty and kind of stupid international incident in the making. Yeah, you heard me correctly. Now I'm getting this news from Reuters. The Bolivian government has filed a formal complaint with the French embassy about a video game produced by a French company that portrays the South American country as an area controlled by drug traffickers. The game, Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Wildlands, was produced by French-based Ubisoft and is set to be officially launched next week. The game's beta version has been downloaded by 6.8 million users according to Ubisoft. Speaking to reporters on Wednesday, Interior Minister Carlos Romero said Bolivia had delivered a letter to the French ambassador and asked that the French government intervene, adding that Bolivia reserved the right to take legal action. Quote, "We have the standing to do it. Take legal action. But at first we prefer to go the route of diplomatic negotiation," unquote, Romero said. Bolivia's problem with Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Wildlands is that they think the game shows Bolivia in a bad light. The game involves a Mexican drug cartel lord who has turned Bolivia into his own gangster paradise with all the violent and bloody trappings you'd probably expect. Ubisoft is claiming that they love the look of Bolivia for its striking something or other and have created a fictionalized story about the country. Gee, nobody's ever made a fictional story about a country existing in a semi-post-apocalyptic scenario. I mean, it's not like aliens blew up the White House in a movie or anything, or that super-evolved apes now controlled the lands which turned out to be a destroyed United States. Anyway, let's continue with this madness. In a statement to Reuters on Thursday, Ubisoft said the game is, quote, a work of fiction, unquote, and that Bolivia was chosen as the background for the game because of its, quote, magnificent landscapes and rich culture, unquote. Quote, lots of quotes here, sorry about that. Quote, while the game's premise imagines a different reality than the one that exists in Bolivia today, we do hope that the in-game world comes close to representing the country's beautiful topography, unquote, said Ubisoft. The French embassy in La Paz did not immediately respond to a written request for comment on Thursday. The story is completely insane on so many levels. Firstly, you've got the issue that Ubisoft is a French company and thus has freedom of speech. Secondly, the video game is fictional in nature and also a work of art. You don't see Bolivia freaking out over newspaper articles, books, movies, music, or anything other than video games. Thirdly, I do not understand how Bolivia thinks that France is going to be able to influence Ubisoft. It's a private company that makes its own decisions, and beyond normal laws that everyone must follow, the French government has nothing to do with Ubisoft, with the exception of the company being based in France. Does Bolivia really have nothing better to do than to pick on Ubisoft and the French government, which now finds itself in a completely ridiculous position of having to tell Bolivia that they can't do anything about it? I mean, I'm sure the French government could kindly ask Ubisoft to make the setting not Bolivia, but that's highly unlikely and un-French-like, not to mention that the game is already out in beta and is being released next week. My head is about to explode as this is one of the stupidest things I've heard of. In essence, we've got all the seeds necessary for an international incident between France and Bolivia. I'm not talking about an armed conflict or anything like that, but I guess it could strain diplomatic relations between the two countries. I mean, who the hell knows? I guess I can understand to some degree Bolivia's thinking on this. The video game shows a fictional version of Bolivia as basically a narco state run by gangs, and if someone were to take anything in the game seriously, then I guess it could hurt tourism, but really, how many people who will play this game were already lining up to vacation in Bolivia in the first place? This is ridiculous. But what's worse is that we've been teaching developing nations that video games are a great whipping boy, the red-headed stepchild, and the perfect target for rhetorical attacks and condemnations. Video games are finally getting some recognition after decades of derision, and while I understand Bolivia's point to a certain degree, I have to say that I'm going to defend Ubisoft here. I don't care who you are. When you challenge freedom of speech, freedom of expression, when you attack an artistic work or try to censor and stutter creativity, then it's a surefire bet that I'm going to stand up against you. Bolivia, if you've got even remotely competent leaders, then I would strongly suggest telling them to back the hell off, because making an international issue out of this is just going to turn around and bite you in the ass. It's just like when someone rages about a video or something that they found on the internet and they want it taken down. By calling foul against something legitimate, at least on the internet, you are pretty much ensuring that it is something that will get replicated, downloaded, re-uploaded, and crammed down your throat from every direction. So yeah, this is completely ridiculous and immensely stupid, but there it is. The basis for a minor international incident because one country, Bolivia, doesn't understand the basics of modern democracies where freedom of speech is a fundamental right. It is the cornerstone of our democracies. Just think of Charlie Hebdo and the outpouring of support that French publication got after the cartoonists were killed for voicing an opinion in satirical cartoons. Remember how the world came to that publication's support? Yeah, it's not a good idea for you, Bolivia, to try and silence creativity and the freedoms we consider fundamental to what it means to be a free person in a free country. I apologize. I'm sorry for preaching. I'm going to get off my soapbox, but this just pisses me off. Anyway, guys, thank you so incredibly much for watching. I appreciate the hell out of every view, comment, thumbs up, and even a thumbs down. Yeah, I know it's weird to appreciate a thumbs down, but to me that means that someone has watched the video and had an emotional response to the point of actually clicking thumbs down. Though, honestly, I do hope that you'll thumbs up this video. To my subscribers, you guys just inspire me so much. This was just a hobby for me to talk about something I love, and it brings me great joy to know that you guys are enjoying my videos. If you just stumbled upon this video, this channel, or me, won't you click that enticing subscribe button and give me a chance to win you over? You'll help to grow this already amazing, and I mean that sincerely, amazing community. You'll have my most sincere gratitude, and you'll always be notified whenever a new video goes up on the channel. This is Rob for Games New to Me saying, Bolivia, seriously, you must have something better to do, 'cause God help you if you don't. Until next time, guys, be good to each other, and I'll catch you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.